What's up, superhumans? I'm live, as you can see. I've got a bunch of setup here. So on that last clip, you can swipe up and that'll take you to the live video. Yeah, hope to see you there. I'm trying to figure out how to do a picture-in-picture. There we go. Sorry, I'm still kind of new to this. Got a countdown. Excited for this. What do you guys think the Whoop Unlocked is going to be about? I think it's going to be Whoop 4.0. I'm not getting any volume. That's not good. Can't hear it. Maybe we'll have to do it through my phone.
And 29% of members actually increase the number of days that they exercise. That's a big deal. 27% of members increase the number of days that they meditate. For those of you looking to increase your HRV, I highly recommend meditation. And 35% of members increase the number of days they report being well hydrated. Well hydrated, certainly we see improving recovery, improving sleep. At Whoop, our team is proud of how our technology is capable of motivating our members in our community.
Keep getting
so we
notifications.
love seeing this in the data. We love seeing behavior change. Whenever we can help our members improve their health, that's what inspires us. This is a very important community of Whoop members. I want to take a second to celebrate what they've done in the past year. Let's start with some of our highest performing Whoop members. Patrick Mahomes, familiar face, Super Bowl champion, MVP, and we got to look at his Whoop data along the way. Remarkably, Patrick Mahomes averages a 19.3 day strain on every Sunday that he's competing. That is ridiculously high, and you need to have great recovery to keep up with that. Patrick sat down on the Whoop podcast and talked about all the things that he does to emphasize his recovery. Wish Patrick the best of luck this season. Nelly Korda. Few women have had a better year than Nelly Korda.
I know I'm behind.
World champion.
I'm sorry.
Olympic gold medalist. And also currently ranked #1 in the world. Now, she was just in Tokyo, and she was on average getting an hour less sleep than she typically does. Despite that, she really focused on hydration. She focused on recovery methods, and she was able to have a high green recovery.
Sorry.
The day that she set that
Please bear with me. I'm sorry about
record. Sure enough, Nelly went on to win the gold medal and is currently #1 in the world. We're going to hear more from Nelly later. Kate Courtney, another champion. Kate Courtney, cross-country mountain bike cyclist and Olympic athlete. Now, when I talked to Kate about her lifestyle and her habits, she emphasized the importance of meditating, a gratitude journal, cold showers and baths. This is a woman who really focuses on her recovery. And sure enough, on that epic winning race, she had a 96% recovery, HRV of 188. That's a little higher than mine. Anyway, it's amazing to see the success that Kate's had, and it's a lot of it due to focusing on recovery. Alex Honnold. Thrilled to have Alex on Whoop. free solo climber, and someone who really, really understands the power of sleep. Alex, of course.
Have you guys seen his video, the movie about Alex Honnold, Free Solo?
Without a rope.
That movie is nuts.
Famously documented by Free Solo.
There you go.
And when Alex came on the Whoop podcast, he talked about how much REM sleep he gets on Whoop. Over 3.5 hours of REM sleep on Whoop. So if you're getting a lot of REM sleep, you're going to have a less heightened amygdala, which of course triggers a fear response. So it's really no surprise that Alex Honnold, who is by all accounts quite fearless in what he does, it's really no surprise that he gets so much REM sleep, but it's quite powerful to get to see that on Whoop. All right, let's talk about people who may not be athletes that you're seeing on television every day, but represent the very important member base that we have at Whoop. Alex Heidechuk, a cardiology fellow in the ICU at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Alex literally spends his days saving people's lives. And like many of our members in the healthcare sector, Alex has been on the front lines during this pandemic. And we thank all the healthcare workers out there, especially the ones on Whoop. Now, Alex actually got to see the power that his job has on his body. While working in the ICU, one of Alex's patients started to get sick very quickly. He actually had to shock the patient and perform 2 rounds of CPR, followed by an intubation and another 3 rounds of CPR. His patient finally stabilized, and sure enough, Alex saved his life. It was only after looking at his Whoop data and leaving the hospital that Alex was able to realize the effect that this actually had on his own body. He spent 57 minutes with an average heart rate of 143 beats per minute. I mean, that's a lot higher than most cardiovascular workouts. It essentially looked like he was working out. And the following day, his recovery was only 20%. So it was clear to Alex that his body was showing a physiological response to stress. And
that's what
because he
happens
was
to me
so
when I
inspired
fly.
by his own experience,
Anxiety's a bitch.
he's now initiated a 12-month study using Whoop to track resident wellness and burnout. We're thrilled to be a part of that study.
That's pretty
Here's
cool.
another amazing, amazing story. Pascal Frigia, an otherwise healthy 33-year-old on Whoop, survived a heart attack while wearing Whoop. Pascal was feeling some dizziness and chest pain. He looked at his Whoop data. His resting heart rate had increased from 54 to 69. It's a huge jump. And his HRV plummeted from 53 to 27. He also saw a meaningful increase in his respiratory rate. Pascal thought something might be up. He went to the ER. He saw the cardiologist, and it turned out that Pascal had just suffered a severe heart attack.
Jeez.
Now, fortunately, Pascal was able to recover and is doing completely fine. But the story highlights the importance of being able to measure deviations from your baseline.
So that's
all in all, these are pretty amazing
new
stories.
strap, it looks like.
We're talking about the best athletes in the world. We're talking about everyday people who are on Whoop. I think for me, and I know the whole Whoop team, we are deeply inspired by these stories, these decisions, these lifestyles that our Whoop members are able to do.
If you can, hit that
mind,
thumbs up button. It just helps the video.
Iterating and improving.
Much appreciated.
Experience.
And thanks for joining me.
So we've launched some amazing.
We'll do a Q&A afterwards.
Let's take a look. So this included team chat.
They just integrated this.
I think this might be the most requested feature in the history of Whoop. The ability to text with your friends directly in the Whoop app.
Yeah.
This included in-app, on-demand membership services.
I got to pilot it, and it was pretty cool.
Members that they want to be able to interact directly with.
I'll start my own team soon, and we can do this.
Built this directly into the Whoop app. It's an on-demand experience. I encourage you to try it yourself. Text us, call us, and you will get a response from our membership services team. We've added menstrual cycle coaching, a critically important period of time to understand, where we want to be able to provide the best feedback and coaching to anyone going through their menstrual cycle. And levels and new member onboarding.
That one's kind of
We
cool.
heard from our members that onboarding at times could be confusing or require a few extra steps. We've now really streamlined that onboarding experience to make it easier.
Thanks for the like, guys.
And yes, you get levels as you move further along your Whoop experience.
Has anybody checked their rewards?
And then
Their
lastly,
like
the
badges?
feature. So this is an opportunity for you to get to interact with high-performing Whoop members.
Nice, man.
And ask them questions.
Me too.
To better understand your Whoop experience and performance in general.
Rogan's pretty influential.
As a membership
for sure.
that charges a subscription, we really view it's our responsibility to you to continuously update and improve the Whoop experience. We want the Whoop product to be getting better every day, every week, every month. And today, I'm proud to announce the most meaningful leap in Whoop technology ever.
4.0.
Whoop 4.0.
It's a new one.
Whoop 4.0 combines our most advanced technology with an improved design, advanced coaching, and all new health monitoring. Welcome to the next generation of Whoop. Let's take a look.
Good old Mahomes. I'm excited for this. I will definitely get one and give you guys a rundown for sure. So it looks like it's going to have a new UI. I hope it's backwards compatible for anybody using Whoop 4.0. My hope is that they just transfer you over, that there's not a new charge. I'd be kind of disappointed if there was, but at the same time, I would understand it. I like the new armband because the armband that I have, I really don't care for. It works, but it's not great. So it's pretty much the exact same form factor. It's a little sleeker. I can see it's more curved.
Only took us 10 years. Here we are. Whoop 4.0. Been thinking about this.
I wonder if the pricing structure is going to change at all.
This is the most exciting technology we've ever developed at Whoop. We're going to take a quick tour here of Whoop 4.0. The 4.0
sensor got more sensors, that's for sure.
Includes 4 times the number of enhanced photodiodes. That includes skin temperature sensing and pulse oximetry sensing. Both of those are new features. Heart rate monitoring has always been at the core of the Whoop experience. We've taken that to the next level with Whoop 4.0. Let's look at an exploded view of Whoop 4.0. Now, there are 200 components in this very small form factor. We've introduced 5 LEDs, including green, red, and infrared light-emitting diodes for enhanced accuracy. That's the sensor here on the left. We've also built haptic technology into the Whoop 4.0.
Oh, okay.
Haptic technology is able to vibrate. So this has the goal of actually providing a sleep alarm to help you wake up without that need for noise and discomfort. Whoop will transmit vibrations to you in the morning to wake you up.
I don't want the
haptics in a less
personally.
Way at the perfect and
I wonder how that's going to affect battery life.
To the all-new Sleep Coach. Now, of course, all this data is still transmitted to your Whoop app. Right from the overview page, you can see a summary of your performance, strain, recovery, sleep. Strain you can think of as the intensity of a given period of time, could be the overall load on your day. And recovery is really your readiness to perform. So that's how prepared your body is for strain. And sleep, of course, being a key indicator for your recovery. Whoop is measuring the amount of time you spend in bed, the quality, how much sleep you need. All of this you can find.
One of the reasons Whoop is so good is the sheer amount of data it takes. There's the new battery pack.
It's also been reimagined. Now,
Ooh,
we
okay.
heard that our members wanted a battery pack that's waterproof. And they wanted the ability to know its battery life. I mean, I, for one, have certainly worn my Whoop battery pack into the shower and completely destroyed it. I know many of you have. Well, we've now developed waterproof battery
That's
pack.
fucking cool.
So
well, excuse my language.
A smaller, smarter, waterproof wireless charger. And you can easily slide it onto your Whoop 4.0.
That's one of the best things about Whoop is the
Wearing
battery
this for
pack.
about an hour,
This makes it
hour
even
and a half
better.
It's going to give you a 5-day recharge.
I highly doubt that battery pack is going to be backwards
this is
compatible.
By far the best battery pack we've ever created. You can now also identify its charge with a simple double tap.
Interesting.
And of course, it's waterproof.
I wonder what the battery life is.
Into all of these new features for 4.0. But first, I want to check in with one of our first 100 members, Michael Phelps. Michael was one of the first 100 members to join the Whoop community dating back to 2014. He certainly knows the importance of waterproofing.
Okay, thanks for the update.
The 4.0 technology's come a long way since 2014. So without further ado, let's hear from Michael.
Thank you, Will. You know, when I think back to when I was competing, I'm trying
Sorry for the audio lag.
Dreams, right? Win a gold medal, break a world record. Now I'm still trying to achieve goals and to achieve dreams. I have 3 boys and a family now. So making sure that I'm able to be my best me every day. I want to see those stats when I get out of bed. I want to see how much, how many calories I'm burning throughout the day, what my strain is throughout the day. So then I know how much sleep I need. As an athlete growing up and majority of my life, I became obsessed with stats, so you will. So being able to see my blood oxygen every day, like that's something that I understand and have some work with in the past. And then being able now to learn.
So maybe it does have a pulse oximeter?
See the level and the changes of mine and try to learn more about that. For me, it's fascinating. Being able to have these things right on our wrist that we can look at every single day, any moment of the day, just as a reminder or just to see where we are. But also know the things that I'm doing are actually helping my body perform at a higher level. I have jumped in the water. I've gotten in the shower with my battery pack on. So being able to have a waterproof rechargeable pack and I think for me that just, it's one less thing to think about. I can dive into the pool and not worry about anything now. So all of these small things for me are allowing me to still continue.
I didn't ask, but can you guys hear everything okay? Please give me a thumbs up if you can.
Exercising is something that I do every day. Seeing these stats and listening to my body allow me every day to be the best of me.
Thanks, Michael. Whoop is all about empowering our members. We've always considered the industrial design of the Whoop to be paramount to your experience. If you're going to wear something 24/7, it needs to fit you. It needs to be your aesthetic. Well, the Whoop 4.0 will be the most compact and the most customizable wearable on the market. This starts with the silhouette of the hardware itself.
I'm excited to get one of these.
The first difference you'll notice about the 4.0
looks good
is the dramatic reduction in size. The Whoop 4.0 is 33% smaller than the Whoop 3.0. So for all of you out there who have said, I wish Whoop was a little bit smaller.
I've never said that, but I'll take it.
This is for you. It makes wearing Whoop on your wrist much more comfortable, much more convenient. And it also lends itself pretty well to something else, which we'll get to later today. We've also redesigned the band. So the Whoop 4.0 comes with the new Super Knit band.
It looks stretchy.
This is the most comfortable and durable band we've ever made. It's designed in dozens of colors, so you can customize and unlock different color combinations. For those of you who love Whoop Your Way, we're still going to be able to do Whoop Your Way with the Whoop 4.0.
Cool.
Go online, customize the band however you'd like. Now, a very important detail here, we've upgraded the process for changing bands. We know you like to swap them in and out, and to let you quickly change out your bands, we invented our new Fast Link system. So you're never going to need to reweave your band again. You'll never hear me telling you that you didn't weave your band correctly.
That's good, because I hate that.
Whoop members and help them out on that front. But let me show you just how easy this is, okay? First of all, taking off your whoop, very easy. And if I want to take this off, I don't need to unweave it. I just slide it off, just like that.
Nice.
Remove the clasp, and look at this little sensor, okay? So I can take this sensor, and very quickly,
who else has got a Whoop?
Its band. So you'll notice the new Whoop 4.0 bands also come with this Fast Link. I simply slide the Fast Link onto the sensor.
It's like an Apple Watch.
So. I attach the clasp as so. And just like that, my new band is on my wrist.
There you go.
Pretty good looking band, I think.
Nice.
White and gold. FastLink makes it as easy as possible to accessorize your Whoop, swap bands in and out, and have the perfect tension. Here to talk about some of those design changes and her experience with the Whoop 4.0 is world number one, Nelly Cordo.
So when I arrived in Tokyo, I wasn't sure how it was going to be, that feeling of playing in your first Olympics. First thing we did when we landed in Tokyo was, instead of going to the hotel and kind of, sitting in bed and kind of thinking about wanting to sleep and how tired you are, we got up and we went straight to the village just to be active, because it was so hot and my body had to go through so much throughout that entire day. I didn't necessarily recover that great. I definitely made sure that I was hydrated, replenished with a bunch of electrolytes, took amino acids. Everyone will tell you it was probably the hottest weather they've ever played in. Something that
it's brutally hot and humid there. I used to live there, not in Tokyo, but Japan, close by.
When you have a tool like Whoop, it's so much easier, and you get so much data that you would never get. So my first impression of the Whoop 4.0 is how small and honestly how nicely it fits on the wrist. It always felt really natural on my wrist, and this one feels even more natural. It's very cute. I'm very excited to see all the new features that come with the Whoop 4.0. I'm itching to see already. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Nelly. Okay, today we're unveiling the all-new Whoop Health Monitor. Comprehensive dashboard to alert you or your loved ones of changes to your physiological health. Now, before we show you this feature, I want to give you a little background on how we got here and the feature's inspiration. I founded Whoop while I was a student athlete at Harvard. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing to my body while I was training as a student athlete. I wanted to build a wearable to better improve my performance and the performance of tens of thousands of others. I never anticipated that the same technology that was helping improve their performance from an athletic standpoint or cognitive performance could one day be relied upon by people during a global pandemic. Two of our founding principles at Whoop are to base everything we do on scientific research. Research is key. And to move at an uncomfortable pace. We like to move fast. Both of these principles served us well last year. In January of 2020, we began to realize that COVID-19 would impact a large portion of our member base. And if it affects our members, we want to research it. So we started this research, and by March of 2020, Whoop released COVID-19.
I'm not trying to show off. I'm just saying I want my own, and I'm working with them to try to make one.
This allowed our members to report whether they had tested positive for COVID-19. And in just 3 weeks, we had over 2,000 people report testing positive for COVID-19, which was one of the largest physiological data sets at the time for what does COVID-19 look like before, during, and after getting COVID.
Oh.
We started to see a pattern emerge in the data.
He's a smart guy.
An overwhelming number of these members had elevated respiratory rates. Respiratory rate is the number of breaths you take per minute. And unlike resting heart rate and heart rate variability, which can fluctuate on a day-to-day basis, respiratory rate really does not change night to night. We have WHOOP members who have been on WHOOP for a year, and their respiratory rate stays completely flat. So when you see fluctuations in respiratory rate, something may be up. In April of 2020, our data scientists took these positive cases and analyzed thousands of data sets to research whether an elevated respiratory rate could be an indicator of COVID-19. In 80% of cases, our research algorithm was able to determine whether a member had COVID-19 by the third day after symptoms. Now, 80% is not perfect, but that's certainly better than nothing.
Thanks for being here.
In 20% of cases, the WHOOP
It's kind of fun to do
respiratory rate
this.
algorithm was able to determine whether a member had COVID-19 1 to 2 days before symptom onset. So these were people who didn't even feel sick, and they saw an elevated respiratory rate, which may have helped them realize they were at risk of COVID-19. The point here is respiratory rate's a critical metric and can provide powerful insights into your body. This is a fascinating story we're about to share with you, and we're joined by PGA Tour golfer Nick Watney, and he's offered to share his story and explain why knowing his baseline respiratory rate was so important. Let's turn it over to Nick.
This guy's got an interesting
Thanks, Will.
story,
I'm really
if I remember.
excited to be here today. I initially learned about WHOOP through another golfer, Rory McIlroy. I noticed him wearing one, so I wanted to wear it to learn about my sleep, if I can improve that. But after getting it and learning about all the data that it provides, I figured there's so much more I could do. Last June in Hilton Head, South Carolina, the tour was back. So I arrived on Tuesday for the tournament and tested that morning. Friday morning, I woke up and felt fine, and it wasn't until I checked the WHOOP data, saw the spike in respiratory rate, I thought I should get another test. The nurse initially took my temperature, no temperature. Took my COVID test, and that morning it came back that I did in fact have COVID. The only reason I got tested the second time was when I checked the WHOOP data and saw the spike in respiratory rate. One of the most exciting things about 4.0 is the health monitoring in general, and to help us improve, excel, and also stay safe.
Thank you, Nick. To be clear, WHOOP isn't designed to diagnose COVID-19, but this example shows how knowing yourself and your baseline can really empower you to make better decisions about your health.
Is there anything else you wish WHOOP would be monitoring?
Thousands of others. And as such, we've developed Health Monitor to give access to our members about their health. We want to make it easy for our members to access data that shows deviations from their baselines. The Health Monitor is potentially the most important feature in 4.0. This is our first major step in developing a system to give you easy access to key health metrics all in one place. Let's take a look at how it works.
Okay.
As you can see on the overview page, there's now a quick indicator for Health Monitor. And I can quickly see that 5 out of 5 readings are within range. Let's dive in.
So skin temp is now a part of it.
Now, at first glance, I can tell that all 5 of my key physiological metrics are within range. You can see my live heart rate, and I can recognize that all of these data points are appropriate. Let's look at respiratory rate. So my respiratory rate is within my range. We talked earlier about why knowing if your respiratory rate's out of your range is important. It's relieving to me to know that it's in range. Blood oxygen, SpO2. This is a new measurement with the WHOOP 4.0. You want your SpO2 to be above 94%.
They could have done it with WHOOP 3.0
That's good.
via an update, but it makes sense that they would wait for a 4.0 so they can sell it.
Resting heart rate within my typical range. Knowing that my resting heart rate and heart rate variabilities are within the right range, that's obviously important for my physiology. And we heard earlier a story of what it could be if your heart rate is way out of its typical range. Heart rate variability, again, within its typical range. And we have a new measurement in skin temperature. Skin temperature deviating from my baseline only by 1/10 of a degree. Obviously, that's not an issue. So again, I get a quick snapshot of all of my metrics. Now let's take a look at what this could be if my metrics were off. On the overview page, I can quickly see that something's very elevated, my respiratory rate. I dive in and look at this, 16.5. That's almost 20% higher than my typical range. This is critically important. As we talked about earlier, knowing that my respiratory rate is out of range, I can also see resting heart rate, HRV, are out of their typical range, so something may be up. Another aspect that's powerful about this page is I can share a health report. So I can pull up a health report for 30-day and 180-day moving averages. These are my key physiological metrics, and I can share those directly with a doctor, a physician, a loved one. If I want to share this, I can easily do so as such. This is a really important feature. We're incredibly proud to roll out the new health monitor, and that will be in the app with your new 4.0.
Thanks for coming. Good luck with class, buddy.
The health monitor is not the only new feature that's enabled by 4.0 hardware. We've also reinvented Sleep Coach. Sleep Coach continues to provide nightly recommendations for when you should go to bed in order to help maximize your recovery the next morning. The purpose of this feature is to wake you up based on your goals at the perfect time. Now, with our new technology, Whoop will empower members to more directly shape their sleep experience. Let's enter the Sleep Coach. You can see on this page, Whoop is still recommending to me when I should wake up and go to bed. However, the new functionality is going to allow me to set an alarm. There's 3 different alarm modes. Let's start with exact time. Let's say tomorrow I have a flight in the morning and I know I need to wake up at 6 a.m.
So this is where the haptics come in.
I just have to wake up at 6 a.m. I can just set Whoop to wake me up at 6 a.m. It's saving that, sending those instructions to my Whoop strap, and it's going to gently wake me up exactly at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
That's cool that it integrates your performance goals and your sleep needs into the alarm. That's pretty cool.
My sleep score.
Because other than that, just an alarm seems kind of dumb.
I can choose. Let's say I want to peak tomorrow. I'm going to select 100% of my sleep need for tomorrow. Whoop makes that recommendation of when I should go to bed. I know that I have to wake up at the latest by 8:30 a.m. So I'm going to set that. And Whoop's going to vibrate when I hit 100% of my sleep need, or at the latest, it's going to wake me up at 8:30 a.m. So this mode is really going to optimize for my sleep performance. The last mode is in the green. Many of you want to wake up in the green, physiologically ready to go. And this mode is going to allow me to do that. So let's say the latest wake time I have is 8:15 a.m. I can set that. And Whoop is going to wake me up when I'm in the green or at the latest at 8:15 a.m.
That's cool.
We're really
interesting way of doing an alarm.
I'm excited to see how our members use it. Ultimately, this is a feature that should be able to improve your sleep efficiency, your sleep consistency. It's an area that we really believe can positively change behavior. Now, to talk about the importance of sleep and behavior change in general, here's author, coach, and motivator Tony Robbins, who himself is a sleep convert on Whoop. Let's hear from Tony.
Hey, thanks for inviting me, Will. Listen, everybody, Whoop has become an indispensable tool for peak performance for me. I don't know if you're familiar with what I do for a living, but I do these events with 10, 15, 20,000 people in stadiums, 4 days and nights, usually somewhere around 12 to 13 hours a day. And I have everybody's attention with total intensity. And to do that, I'm straining a lot. And I've had other devices that kind of measured my sleep and so forth. But the simple, unique connection of being able to measure how much I'm really straining, the intensity that I'm expressing out there, what's going on in my body, and how much I recovered, and the relationship between those two is what is so powerful about Whoop. So I'm saying this because I had this incentive and motivation, but I still wasn't doing it because I wasn't measuring. Some of the other devices I had gave me all this detail. I just want to look down and know, what does this mean and what I got to do today to make the difference? And so I think the great thing about Whoop 4.0 is it's got a sleep coach built into it. And so you can set, I want to wake up when I hit a certain target that I've timed, or a target of my body actually recovering. But I just wanted to share the impact it's had, because ultimately information doesn't change your life, right? It's changing your behavior. And Whoop, by bringing that to you in such a simple way, you know, it becomes gamified. And now I'm sleeping more, not as much as I probably should, to be honest, but when I get out of balance, I put it back in balance quickly. So I'm really grateful to Will and the whole Whoop team. And I hope all of those Whoop members out there, I hope you supersede, you break through and expand through your goals, whatever they may be, performance goals or just quality of life goals. Thanks a lot, Will.
Thanks, Tony. When we talk about sleep and performance,
I think everybody's
Tony's
jonesing for like, okay, give us the price. Let us know how much it costs. What are we doing here?
We hear from our members about how Whoop has changed their behavior.
But that's how these things are.
Our team of data scientists loves to run studies to quantify the impact that Whoop has on our members. Let's walk through a few of those studies. They're pretty amazing. We partnered with St. Paul's, New Hampshire boarding school.
I think we lost like half of our viewers because this is just now starting to drag on. I'm sorry. That's what it is, though.
The ages of 14 and 18. Typically difficult people to get to go to bed. And guess what? When they were looking at their Whoop data, over the course of 4 months, these students slept on average 1 hour and 9 minutes more. And their HRVs increased by 13%. So that just shows you, if you can see the data, if you can measure it, it can help manage your performance.
Raise of hands. Who's a sleep freak?
In another case study, we wanted to study recovery.
Sleep is so important to me. I'm such a diva about my sleep.
We launched Project PR. As part of this initiative, we recruited thousands of participants and put together an 8-week program to help them train for a 5K. So over the course of 8 weeks, you're taking training recommendations from Whoop. And we saw that the athletes training for 5Ks who followed Whoop recovery suggestions, you know, should you train hard today? Should you take it easy? Those folks were 32% less likely to experience injury during an 8-week training period. That's pretty amazing. We also partnered with McKinsey, the famed consulting firm. McKinsey and Whoop are both pretty fascinated in how sleep impacts mental performance.
8 sleep.
Does getting more sleep improve your cognitive
sleep
performance,
and a Whoop,
especially if you're an executive?
you're
That
golden.
was the question. Well, we had 70 executives who wore Whoop over multiple
I'm starting
months
to love my 8
better
sleep.
understand how sleep impacts their performance. And while we've long known how critical sleep and recovery are for athletes, this study actually proved that sleep plays a key role in the workplace. It's not that surprising, but it's amazing to see it in the data. For every 45 minutes of sleep debt a person accrued, they had a 5 to 10% decrease in mental control the following day. More sleep debt, less cognitive performance. Conversely, for every 30 minutes of slow wave sleep gained, that's a very important restorative period of sleep. For every 30 minutes of slow wave sleep gained, that person saw a 5 to 10% increase in mental control the next day. More slow wave sleep, more cognitive performance. As many of you know, Whoop is providing this data, this detailed data around your stages for sleep, whether you're in slow wave sleep, REM sleep, light, awake, and using that data to help you better understand what are all the different things in your life that are affecting these stages. When you have a lens like that into your sleep, it allows you to manage all of your lifestyle decisions accordingly and really improve it. Now, Whoop alone will not force you to sleep more or improve physically. You have to take it on yourself. But the Whoop data really empowers you to make the decisions that will best improve your performance and your recovery. Now, before we finish today's event, we have a bit more to share. This next initiative is perhaps the hardest and most revolutionary project we've undertaken at Whoop. We're excited to introduce Whoop Body.
Close.
Featuring Anywhere technology. Whoop Body with Anywhere technology enables the 4.0 to be worn effectively at various points throughout the body.
Okay.
This includes
Oh,
all new
interesting.
leggings, boxers, performance tops, and bralettes, where you can wear your Whoop 4.0. We've long said that wearable technology should be cool or invisible, and this is really the first step in making wearable technology completely invisible. This sensor can now be worn on multiple parts of your body.
I hope they have the
your
neoprene
convenience.
strap.
Let's take a peek at this apparel in action.
I like that idea, especially here if you're trying to get better heart rates. Lolita, I would definitely say so, if not just for 6 months. 6-month experiment, you could see some huge results.
That's a lot of new apparel. Now, if you look at my wrist, you may notice something's missing. That's pretty obvious given the diabolical
It's in his boxers.
I have on my wrist. Amazingly, I am now wearing
Yeah!
4.0 in my boxers, just like that. And this is able to collect all of my data 24/7 without anything on my wrist.
Interesting.
As part of this Whoop
That's the
Body
first
initiative, we're releasing
smart
two
boxer I've ever seen.
The first is our training collection, featuring sports bras, compression tops, leggings, shorts, and athletic
Should I
boxers.
do a
It's
review
lot
of the
apparel
boxer?
groups.
Thumbs up.
And the second is our intimates collection, which includes bralettes and everyday boxers. In all of these garments, the Whoop sensor slides into a discrete pod, as you can see here. And the sensor, close to your skin, is able to know exactly where it is on your body and still calculate the same quality of data. For our members who may prefer keeping their wrists free for work or workouts, Whoop Body and Anywhere technology enables them to track their data 24/7 with nothing getting in the way. We know that our members have a very high standard when it comes to apparel and performance wear. And I'll have you know that the Whoop Body apparel is made with premium fabrics, smart detailing, and minimalist design to be both fashionable and functional.
I think that's
So
actually
just
going to
take
do
it from
pretty
me.
well. It's
Take
a
it from
really
our next
smart
guest.
way of getting into
Hi, Will.
the
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to
apparel
be here and talk all things Whoop.
space.
I've been using Whoop since around the beginning of 2018. The Whoop 4.0 is a lot smaller than the 3.0. Being able to slide the strap on and off makes it so much easier to be able to customize which strap you want to use. If you're going out, you want to wear something a little bit more smart, whereas actually if you're training, you can want to wear something that's practical, so that you can have like a sweaty one and a nice one. The Whoop body apparel, I am super excited about. There's sometimes that you just want to be able to just forget about it. You don't want it to catch on anything, whatever it may be, and you can slip it into your boxers.
Sorry about the
And you've got
notifications.
all of
I
the
tried to
same
turn them
data,
off.
all of the same information and all of the same readings, and you can keep calm and carry on. And I think that is something that is going to be very useful. Thank you for having me as part of Team Whoop. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Tom. One of the things we want to do at Whoop is celebrate iconic moments in sports. So much of our origin story is in and around sports and performance. That's why we rolled out Whoop Live, a new technology that integrates performance data directly into live sports broadcasts and replays. If you think back 20 years ago, how different was a sports broadcast than it is today? Innovation needs to take place at the broadcast level to make the fan experience more engaging. After all, professional sports broadcasts are competing now with more forms of content than ever before. We want to play a role in making these sports broadcasts more engaging and introducing Whoop data as part of the story around wins and losses and performance and stress.
Let's see if that works.
As you're watching Nelly Korda tee off at the Women's PGA Championship, or seeing Haley Adams compete at the CrossFit Games, or tuning in to Rigoberto Urán
I love Whoop
climbing a
Live.
hill at
It's
the
freaking
Tour de
cool.
France.
I've done a bunch of videos with
You can
Whoop
see their
Live.
heart rates. You can see maybe how they slept, their recovery, strain data right on your screen. It's adding an entirely different dimension to live sports.
Yeah,
And you're going to
it's
see
not
Whoop
turning
pursue
off.
this across a lot of different sports broadcasts in the near future. Let's take a look at some of these incredible moments that Whoop.
Maybe that's what I needed to do.
Ascent slows 50 feet.
See the heart rate started to go up.
Now it will gather speed.
I did this when I played Oculus. God damn it.
2 footer. Oh my goodness.
All the way. Can you believe that?
They need a Whoop Live for creators, like a green screen version though. That way you can overlay it over film rather than just from your phone. I've been asking for that for like the last year.
Another major champion, and this time it's in golf.
Jeez, that's why.
We're looking through some of Higgins's recovery data. How's his body holding up, Dan?
All right now, actually. Yes, Brian went through some of the general team stats the other day and also those of Nielsen Powers, but we've now got some from Higginsa. This was from the rest day. Feels like a lifetime ago, only last Monday, and you can see he really needed it. Recovery down to 26% here. 2 days after that, the double ascent of Mont Ventoux, you can see his recovery score much better, courtesy of the rest day, and a stage after that wasn't particularly difficult. Yesterday, his best performance ever at the Tour de France, despite that disappointment of coming third. 67%, so still in the green when it comes to the recovery, but the strain, as ever with all these riders, right up there. 21 is the maximum. He was at 20.6. This has been a very tough Tour de France for every rider who still remains within it, and I think that could have an effect not just today, but over the last week of the race as well.
Pretty amazing to see so many high performers in action, rocking their Whoop and participating in Whoop Live. And I can promise you, you're going to see Whoop Live across more sports and on more broadcasts very soon. Now, one of the best parts about Whoop Live is that all of our members have Whoop Live in their app. You can just tap on the camera icon in the Whoop app and overlay your real-time Whoop data onto videos. Of course, make sure to tag Whoop Live, and you'll see it shared across social media. Now, we have one more phenomenal athlete joining us today. American track and field star, Olympic silver and bronze medalist, Gabby Thomas, also a fellow Harvard grad. Let's see what she has to say about her experience on Whoop.
He's just got to throw it in there.
Thanks, Will. I'm excited to be here and to share my experience with Whoop. I started wearing Whoop when I was a freshman in college, about 5 years ago now, as part of the beta testing group. One of the things that my coaches really instilled in me was the importance of not only training really, really hard, but also getting that recovery. I was always very, very aware of my sleep patterns, and that was the first aspect of recovery that I used to focus on. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is look at my Whoop analytics and look at how my sleep actually was. As I've grown as a professional athlete, I've started using my Whoop to look at even more in-depth things and more personalized aspects of my recovery. And I started being able to track all of those patterns through the Whoop journal. It's the only band that I wear on my person 24/7 all the time. So with the Whoop 4.0, I'm excited because it's actually even smaller and even more comfortable, which I didn't think was possible. But I'm excited for even more people to be involved and understand themselves and how they can improve their own health and performance.
Thank you, Gabby. So you've heard about Whoop 4.0 and all of our features, from the health monitor to sleep coach to Whoop Body. Later today, we're releasing an episode on our Whoop podcast where we dive more into the technology behind Whoop 4.0. And for our members, I'll also be hosting an AMA in the Whoop app later today. You can find that under the community section. I'll answer any questions you have about Whoop 4.0 and what we're up to at Whoop. Now, you might be wondering, how can you get Whoop 4.0? We've long said that hardware is included with your membership. It's part of what makes the Whoop membership unique. And that spirit
Well, thanks to
rings
John
true
Rogers,
with
we
the release
already
of
know.
Whoop 4.0. If you're an existing member with 6 or more months left on your membership, you will receive a Whoop 4.0 for free. That's right. Simply log into your app, enter your address, and it's on its way.
That's cool.
If you have less than 6 months currently on your membership, we just ask that you extend your membership. In return, we will send you the 4.0 completely free of charge. All of this can be done in
my boy,
your
John.
Whoop app. Now, current Whoop members are first in line. So if you go sign up now, you're going to be first in line. We have a limited number of Whoop 4.0s, and we want our current members to know that we're as loyal to you as you are to us. For new members who have yet to experience the Whoop platform,
I will say Whoop has drastically improved their customer service. Drastically.
4.0 when you sign up for at least 6 months of membership, and you can sign up for as little as $30. You can do this on our website, whoop.com, and we can't wait to welcome you into our community. And I want you to know our membership pricing has not changed. Even as we launched 4.0 and released new features, it's the same monthly rate. As always, our membership services
Good. They could have probably charged more, so that's nice to know that they're not.
If you'd like help with the upgrade process, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our membership services reps from the app or from our website.
As soon as I get one, I'll be doing a review on it. So let me know if you have any questions on it that they didn't address here.
Option. Whoop Pro. For just $12 a month, as a Whoop Pro member, you will benefit from an even more elevated membership experience. In addition to receiving your Whoop 4.0 for free, you'll get a free item every quarter, plus 20% off the Whoop store, early access to new releases, and free shipping on all items from the Whoop store. For your free quarterly item, you'll have the option to choose from bands, new Whoop body apparel, exclusive Whoop Pro gear, the battery pack 4.0, and more, with new items being added often. Here's an example of what I could get on Whoop Pro. Today, if I sign up for Whoop Pro, I could immediately get a pair of 2 Whoop boxers. Then, next quarter, I could get a battery pack 4.0. 3 months later, I may learn about an exclusive Whoop Pro Super Knit band, and I can get that kit for free. Later, I might want to get a bicep band or a hydro band if I'm interested in switching up where I wear my Whoop. I mean,
that's honestly kind of a compelling price,
so for those
if I'm going to be honest.
Like Whoop apparel,
$12 a month, because the battery pack's $50. The boxers are probably like 25 to 35 each.
While upgrading in the account section of their app or in
so you're spending $36
on behalf
and
of
then
everyone
getting
Whoop,
something,
I want to thank
essentially.
you for joining me today here at Whoop Unlocked. To recap, we've launched Whoop 4.0, the most advanced technology we've ever created. I hope you enjoy it as much as
What do you think of Whoop Pro? Anybody joining Whoop Pro?
Updates, like our upgraded sensor suite, the new and improved battery pack 4.0, our new Super Knit band, and the Fast Link system. We also showed you new features within the app, including the health monitor and the elevated sleep coach experience. And we introduced you to Whoop Body, our new line of apparel that lets you wear Whoop anywhere. The Whoop 4.0 is included in your membership. That's part of what makes the Whoop subscription unique. You feel great responsibility as a membership to continue delivering great value to you every day, every week, every month, every year. Hold us accountable for that, and we'll hold you accountable to improve your health and change your behavior. We feel it's our responsibility to evolve with you. I hope you enjoy the Whoop 4.0. And thank you for watching.
All right. Let's pause this and let's talk. Well, that was interesting. That was interesting. Whoop Pro. We got a Whoop 4.0. I'm excited for the 4.0. I'm really excited about the waterproof battery pack because I've already fried one going into the shower. You just forget about them, you know. So a waterproof battery pack would be nice. What do you guys think? Questions for me? Hit me. We'll be here. Let's do this for like another 15, 20 minutes, and let's chat. But I've already emailed my guy at Whoop to see if I can get one in because I definitely want to do a review. I think Whoop is headed in the right direction. They are by far my favorite wearable. I think they're just the most complete. And I think Whoop 4.0, even though it's not a huge advancement, it's still a step in the right direction. Their app is probably the biggest selling point because everything is just so easy to understand and make sense of. And they're making even greater strides on the app front. So I think that's great. The apparel line, I think, is a really smart way of diving into that space. Because if you're trying to compete against Lululemon, Nike, Vuori, and some of those other companies, I don't think just having Whoop on there is going to be enough, but an actual integration of being able to put in the Whoop strap 4.0, I think that's what will get them those sales. It'll be interesting for sure. Let's see. Already reserved mine. John, you're on it. Yeah, the fact that they upgrade for free from 3.0 is just, I think that's awesome. They could definitely have slapped you in. Oh, that hurt. Sorry, I've got an injured lat. They could have slapped you in the face and been like, hey, it's $180, or you're going to have to do some sort of fee. But if you've got 6 months or left on it and you get it for free, that's pretty rad. And it seems like the upgrade process is fairly easy. John was reserving yours like pretty easy. I'd buy some PJs if they can find a way to make it comfortable. Yeah, the problem with that is it's got to be tight, right? Like it's got to be tight on your skin so you can get accurate readings. Again, the number one reason why you have inaccurate readings isn't the sensor, it's the fit. I've gotten so many comments on my Whoop videos. You can see just how much this thing digs into my arm. This is actually kind of loose right now. But at any point, if space gets in between your wrist and the sensor, that's where you're going to get a faulty reading. So with PJs, it would have to be like right next to the skin and make sure it doesn't move around. But I'd be down for some PJs too. Like a onesie. Like a nice onesie would be fun. I hate sleeping with a watch. Yeah, I sleep with both of these and I've just kind of gotten used to it. Upgrading is super easy. Just click on the option and log in on the site. Just did it as well. Cool. Starts shipping September 27th. I'm hoping I can get one sooner than that, just so I can do a review on it and everything like that. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't think I would do the underwear. Somebody said I probably wouldn't do the underwear. I don't know. I'd give it a shot. I would be down to try the underwear. The only other thing that I use is that big neoprene thing here, because when I do jujitsu, you can't have something, like this whacking somebody in the face. So you've got to have like a neoprene pouch. That would be worth it if they upgraded that, because the armband that they have currently just constantly falls. It does work. It does protect, but that's it's gonna be, that's the main one. The video showed it on the back in the underwear. Yeah, it's kind of like on the side, shit, this hurts, on like your lower back fat. It's an interesting spot to put it, but it makes the most sense because anywhere in the front, like your hips are gonna dig into it. it would kind of have to be on the back. I don't know. I wonder how much wear testing they did before deciding to do an underwear. If it were me, I would almost want it on the side of the thigh, but I don't know if I would want it on my back. Just sitting, you're like leaning, casual driving, maybe it digs in. I don't know. Yeah, tons of cushion. Yeah, you do have some, I mean, that's like where the fat is, but and then like blood supply. Do you have any main veins or arteries that are going through there? I don't think so. That's where you're going to get that optical reading from. It's nice that the Whoop has more sensors in there in different colors, so it can be a little bit more accurate. I'm glad that they introduced near infrared because that gets deeper into the tissue. What else? Man, there are some good things. I think the Whoop, let me know if you think so, but I think the Whoop, the health, like the new thing that they have on the app where they're going to give you a quick rundown of like 5 major factors. I don't know if it's that important. Like skin temperature on your peripheries, they can just be influenced so easily. Like when I was talking to Whoop, the main reason they're not giving you an active skin temperature like Oura Ring is because if I put my hand under the pillow and it's cold, I can affect the temperature that way. So I don't know if that's going to be that big of a reading, that big of a deal. I think the pulse oximeter is a bigger deal than skin temperature. So I don't know about health. I think it's a good idea to just quickly look at it. That's why I like Whoop, is because I can quickly look at the app and go, oh yeah, I'm recovered. I'm not recovered. I'm just wondering if those metrics are now going to be a deterrent. What do you think? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Was there anything that Whoop didn't include that you really, really wanted? Me personally, just battery life. I would have said if battery, oh, I'm sure. So Andrew just asked, is anyone else's website not loading? Their server could just be demolished right now. I wonder how they'll handle the return of 3.0. I hope they're doing something to eliminate e-waste. It would be really nice if they could recycle most of this, that's for sure. I'm trying to upgrade via the app. Yeah, I bet you the servers are just getting smoked right now. That's all. You're going to probably have to pop in and out. Anyway. Yeah, was there anything not included in Whoop that you really would have liked to see? For me, it was mostly just battery life. Did they mention basal temperature? Yeah, I mean, they're taking the temperature off of your wrist. Again, I don't see that being like a hugely important factor because it's on your periphery, you know. So, I would have loved to see like a 9-day battery life. That would have been rad. The battery pack is probably my favorite upgrade. A waterproof battery pack is probably my favorite upgrade. I charge for like 1 hour and I'm good for a week. Yeah, it doesn't take long. That's for sure. Like out of almost everything I've used, their battery / charging solution is by far the most thoughtful. The fact that I don't have to take it off, I just slide this thing on. Like you said, it takes like an hour and then you're fully charged and you just plug it back in. So it's really not that big of a deal. I just travel a lot and there's just pieces. Like the more moving pieces you have, especially for me, I just tend to forget. So like I forgot over the weekend and I was playing volleyball in Aspen. It would have been really cool to have metrics for all of those days, but I only got like half of them. Probably depends on the level of activity as well, as I suppose the more activities you do, the faster it drains. No, and here's why. So one of the reasons why Whoop is by far the best fitness tracker, the reason it's more accurate than anybody else's, is that it takes a reading every single millisecond of every single day. So from what I've been told, the computational resources don't change depending on doing more activities or doing less activities or anything like that. Just FYI. It would have been nice if they would have integrated Bluetooth 5.0. They didn't say that, so I'm pretty sure it's still low energy Bluetooth 4.0, but man, speaking of that volleyball tournament, so my highest Whoop measurement ever is 20.5. Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to clarify. I've been using Whoop for like 2 years now, and I talk to them pretty regularly on stuff. Like when I do some of these big reviews, I have to reach out to the company, and sometimes because it's like proprietary information, they won't give me some data, but for the most part, Whoop has answered every single question I've ever had. So that's cool. My Whoop, let's go to my Whoop data. This is pretty interesting. So my highest strain ever is 20.5. I hit a 20.5 yesterday playing volleyball. And then my battery ran out. Saturday, I had a 20.5 from playing volleyball. Friday, I had a 20.5 from playing volleyball. And what was the other day? Yeah, just last 4 days. I'm just let's see. Wait, so will Whoop 4.0 like wake you up at an efficient time? Yeah, they went over it. So it's got a built-in haptic alarm, and there's 3 different alarms depending on what you want to accomplish. That alarm kind of coincides with that. So if you want to just wake up in the green, if you want to get optimal sleep, or if you have an absolute alarm, there you go. The wake up feature is probably my favorite. Right on. Yeah, I mean, haptics are nice. I just wake up at the same time pretty much every day without an alarm. I really don't need one. Like if I have a flight that leaves at 4 a.m., I basically just tell my brain I need to be up by 4, and I'm up. The other thing I have is in that 8 sleep bed. This is trippy if you want to hear kind of a funny story. The 8 sleep bed has an alarm built into the mattress, a haptic alarm. And I didn't know that. So on my 8 sleep, I was like, oh, I got to get up at like 4:30 or whatever. And I'm an early riser. And then the bed will naturally warm up to wake you up. But then there's this like pulsation that was happening. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I realized there's a haptic alarm built into the mattress, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of nice because it's subtle. It's not jarring. That's kind of what I worry about with the haptics from Whoop, is how jarring are those haptics going to be? Because like Apple Watch has great haptics. Like there's subtlety to it. They've really refined it. Whereas when I use the, what is the competitor? Why am I forgetting the name? Anyway, I used a different one, and the haptics were just jarring, and it felt weird. I was like, ugh, I don't like it. It was gross. That was cool. I thought their presentation was legit. They did a great job. It was like an Apple keynote, right? It's kind of funny for me. I think I paid more attention to how they were filming it, like what gear they probably were using to film it and the transitions that they did, than some of the data. Let's see. What exactly does blood O2 show you? I've heard it's kind of redundant. Well, for one thing, a normal blood O2 measurement is, I think, 90, I want to say like 93 and above, right? Because it just means the amount of oxygen that's in your blood. And I know when I got my really bad respiratory virus, they were very concerned if I had started dropping under 90, because then that's when they were going to have to get a respirator involved. So it actually is a pretty important measurement. Like they're going to use it every single time you go to a hospital. You're going to put on that thing on your finger and they're going to check. Because even though you might be feeling okay, if you've got a really low respiratory rate, that's going to alert them to something that's either pulmonary or cardiovascular. Nerd, LOL. Yeah, camera equipment for sure. It's funny. Like I do this whole YouTube thing, 7+ weeks for shipping, Well, they said September 24th, right? Well, we'll see. I mean, but again, we're in a chip shortage too. I bought a camera, I want to say a month and a half ago, and I still have, I think, 10 weeks to wait. And it might even get stretched out because this chip shortage is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're just kind of in a funky time right now with electronics because of demand and the fact that there is a massive chip shortage for sure. Yeah, but I don't watch any fitness videos on YouTube. I just watch like camera and filmmaking things, which is kind of weird. But that's because I want to make my channel look different than all the other fitness channels. What time is it? We got 11:15. That went on pretty darn long. I think I'm going to end it here. I just want to say thanks for watching, everybody. You're awesome. I love the questions. If you have any more questions, just hit me up on Instagram. Superhuman Performance, which is my name, Brandon Talbot. You'll see the same photo. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. Let's end this stream. I do have that discount code. It should work. I'm assuming it'll work if you're getting a new Whoop 4.0, but I'm really excited to test this thing out. I'll let you know what's going on with that, but I'll catch you later. Peace.